Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Yay! Sorry about that. Well, that's good. You didn't hear my dogs just start barking all of a sudden. Yay! I'm sorry. Okay, thank you, ladies, for joining me tonight. This is a Stamp With Me class, and I hope that some of you are going to stamp with me. If you are stamping with me, let me know so I know about the pace and not to go too fast. If I know people are stamping, I try to slow it down. And if you're not and you want to make the cards, the recipes are on my blog over at worldofkellycraft.com, and you can make them after, because the video will be posted for guidance if you need it, and would love to see your cards. Who is stamping with me tonight? Sharon, you're stamping? Yay! Lisa, Dawn, are you? June? So the card recipes were posted on my blog, and you know, obviously you can use whatever you want. Okay, so just a couple of things before we get started. Again, my name is Kelly Wentworth. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Kennebunk, Maine, and I craft over here at worldofkellycraft.com. I want to thank you for joining me. For those of you who earned bonus coupons last month, I just want to remind you that August is the deadline. So the end of the month is the deadline to put any orders in for using your coupons. I don't want to see you lose them. So if you have those coupons, make sure you use them and place your order before the end of the month. I also wanted to share that I am working on a series that's going to be called 12 Weeks of Christmas series, and it's all going to be Christmas focused. It's going to run for 12 weeks, and it's going to be over on my YouTube channel, and I am really excited about it. I've started working on the projects and the cards, and you are going to love them. So it's going to be a weekly series, and again, it'll be on YouTube, and it'll be up there if you are not able to catch it live, but because I'm going to stream live on YouTube, but it'll be up there if you want to follow along on that series. It's going to begin next month in September, and it's going to run for 12 weeks, so it's going to go through November 20th. So this is a great chance to get started on some of your holiday cards and projects. I know that we're kind of approaching the end of August here, but we know how quick Christmas comes. So I'm excited to do this. I've never done anything like this. So of course, anybody who knows me knows I love Christmas. It's my favorite time to craft. So I'm pretty excited, and I've already started working on some of the cards and a few really cute projects, 3D projects as well. So I hope that you will join me on that. More details to come, so watch my blog for updates and information on that. Okay, are you guys ready to stamp? For those of you who are stamping, and if you're not, you can catch the replay, and hopefully the recipe is over on my blog, and you can make the cards at a later time. So the first card that I am making, and I actually posted pictures on my blog to give you the visual, because I know I get feedback, people like visuals, and but again, you can use whatever set you want. So the first card that I'm making is the bow card, and for those of you who didn't see the information, so this base is crumb cake, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. Okay, And so it's your typical vertical card base. And I actually used another piece, tone on tone design, which is really a nice change. And I have to tell you, the stamp set I'm using, and you are going to see more of this because I absolutely love this stamp set. This is called Gift Wrapped. And oh my goodness, when I saw this in the book, I kind of hemmed and hawed a little bit about it. I really liked it, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't get it at first. And then I started seeing some projects made with it, and I'm telling you, it's beautiful. And it comes with this beautiful bow punch and builder punch. And so I'm going to use that tonight, but you're going to see this in my 12 Weeks of Christmas series because I absolutely love it. And I've been having fun playing with that. So that's what I'm using. So let's get started. So 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2 is the card base. And then what I did on the next layer, which is a 4 by 5 1/4, and again tone on tone, is I stamped and made kind of like the background. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you guys can go ahead and start making yours if you whatever card you're doing. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. So I am using soft suede. Let me get my mat. So whenever you're using photopolymer, it's really important to use a mat with a little bit of cushion. This is the Stamping Pierce mat, which works really great for that. Just so that, because it doesn't have the red rubber, you want it to have some give to it so that it, oops, hang on. Let me get my cleaner. All right, so go ahead and stamp your 4 by 5 1/4 layer. I'm stamping off. This is a really neat technique, and you don't even need to use DSP. It's kind of like making your own background. That's okay, Dawn. You can do it after, hon. Okay, so then I told you to get 2 strips. I used Garden Green and I embossed both of them. And I used 2 different embossing folders. I used the Dainty Diamonds and the Subtle. Again, you can use one. You don't have to. If you don't want to, but this is what we used to make this bow. And let me put this over here so you can see it. Can you guys see that okay? Okay, there we go. Let's do this. There we go. So you're going to glue down your 2 pieces of, your 2 strips. Now, when I tend to use Tombow when I'm using textured paper, because it actually is a better glue. It's a stronger glue, and because of the texture, it'll hold it better. I'm sure most of you probably know that. And you just kind of line that up. Mine is off, so I'm just going to trim off the bottom of that. And then the other one goes the other way. I made them longer, probably. Okay. This subtle folder is just so perfect for so many different things. I mean, it's subtle, so you don't really see it necessarily, but it adds just enough. Yeah, I just did my 2 strips. Easy way to trim it off and do it that way. Okay. And then the other thing is, if you have your accent piece to go on, like I use the bow, go ahead and stamp that. Hi, Betty. How are you? I was thinking about you tonight. Haven't seen you for a little bit. Hope you're doing well. So I want to stop for a second and see how everybody is doing. Lisa, are you stamping? Just want to check in and see how you guys are doing. Doing okay, Lisa? Sharon, and you doing okay? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my bow on a piece of scrap, and I'm using Real Red. And I'm telling you, I love this stamp. Wait till you see this bow. And it has different bows in here, ribbon bows. It's just gorgeous. And I'm going to use the Real Red because I wanted it to pop. Look at how beautiful that is. What a beautiful stamp that is. And then I'm going to use my builder punch to just punch that out, which makes it so quick and easy. Does anyone have this stamp set yet? Just curious if you guys have it. Okay. And when you pop it out, you get, let me, a couple of other pieces. Where'd my little piece go here? Oh, hang on. Okay. It's really pretty, Betty. You would like it, Sharon. Okay. So then what I did on mine is I used the sprig punch, and let me show you that. This sprig punch came out last year at Christmas time, and I'm telling you, I use this all the time. Year-round, holidays, you know, spring, summer, fall. It is the best leafy sprig punch that we've had. And I use it a lot. So what I did is I punched out some old olive, and then I punched out the same in the vellum cardstock. Can you guys see that? That's vellum cardstock. And I've been using more vellum lately. It's beautiful, and it really adds a nice touch. So what we're going to do is start placing start putting your top on, whatever you're using. See these vellum pieces? They're so pretty. And I just kind of did, kind of spread them out so they'll go underneath the bow. And then I put one of the sprigs like that. And then I did the same for the bottom. And then just glue them down. Okay? So go ahead and put your embellishments on, whatever you're using. What set are you using, Sharon? Thank you for my nails, Nancy. Good to see you. So, really funny story about my nails. For those of you who have known me a long time, you may know that I have had my nails done professionally for over 30 years. It's just something that I always did. I loved having my nails done. I've had tips for over 30 years. And then when the COVID hit, well, that was a problem. I obviously couldn't go like everybody else, and I didn't know what I was going to do, so I ended up having to take my own nails off, and then I just let my nails grow, and I've been doing them myself since the COVID, and now I'm kind of getting into the Color Street thing. This is Color Street, and I'm loving it, and it's so easy, and I thought, well, this may work for me. So, have any of you tried Color Street for your nails? It's really cool. Really, really cool. So there's that. And then I did the same on the bottom. I'm so glad you popped on, Nancy. Thank you. So yeah, so I wondered if I was going to go back to having my nails done, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think I want to go back to that. It's something I've been wanting to change for the last few years, and I just never did. And then, the COVID really kind of forced me into, getting done, stopping doing it, and now I'm kind of glad. So I'm going to kind of see where it takes me. So I've been doing them myself, which is interesting because it's been a long time. And then I just found this Color Street thing, and I'm having fun with that. All right, so I'm putting that down. It doesn't matter. It's gonna the bow is gonna go over that, and I'm gonna put that up on dimensionals to pop it. Okay. Hi, Cynthia. Well, Nancy, hold tight because I just got into it a few weeks ago, and I'm actually going to be having a party next week. Well, I think it's going to start at the end of the week, so stay tuned. I will show you, and you'll get to see some information about it. Well, scrapbooking is where I started, so, and a lot of this can actually work with scrapbooking. Good to see you, Cynthia. Thank you for joining. Yes, please do, Nancy. I just worked with my friend who sells it, and that's who I've been getting my stuff from, and it's really, really neat stuff. It's easy. It's, you know, inexpensive compared to what I was doing, and a lot of fun. So then I'm just going to stick that on there like that. What do you think? Is that pretty? Now I'm going to stamp my saying, and I'm going to do that in the garden green, and I'm using like true traditional colors here tonight for that. And as you can see on my demo, it's going to be a very Merry Christmas. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to stamp that down. Hope you're doing well, Cynthia. Okay, and I'm going to trim that down a little bit. I was using scrap. I'll get my trimmer in here. So I want it to fit a little bit snugger, so I'm just going to trim that down. I had to get some wipes. My fingers are, hang on. There we go. How many of you are interested in the 12 Weeks of Christmas series that I'm going to be doing? You think that's a good idea? Just gotta wipe my hands. I got some glue on them. Okay. And then I'm just gonna chop that down a little bit. Now usually, it's funny, when I was doing this card, when I was designing this card, I usually when I use crumb cake, sometimes I use vanilla, but I really liked the starkness of the white on this, and that's why I went with that. And so actually I'm going to trim this down a little bit more. Because what we're going to do is we're going to tuck this like right under there, like almost like a tag. And I'm just gluing that down. And sticking that like right underneath. Like that. And then you take the base back out, and I'm going to put that up on dimensionals for some dimension. And it looks really good when you're doing tone on tone like this. It really pops the card if you put it up on dimensionals. So just a little tip there. You like that idea, Dawn? Sharon? Yeah, I am really excited to try it. I've never streamed from YouTube, but I've been looking into it, and hopefully we'll have it down pat by the time to do that. And then just kind of pop that up like this. And then what do you think? I really like the tone on tone, the cardstock on top of the cardstock, same color, and then using the lighter ribbon color, the soft suede, just to do that background. I just think that makes it look really pretty. Do you like it? Oh, good, Nancy. I hope you will join us. I've been making some really neat stuff already. I'm already starting to work on it because it's going to be a weekly thing, and I want to do at least a couple of projects on each one. So, so that's card number 1. Do you like it? Thank you, Sharon. Do you like it, Lisa? Thank you. Lisa, are you done with 1? Sharon, are you done with this first card? Hi, Jody. Thank you for joining. That's okay. We just finished, this is Stamp With Me night, and we just finished the first card using gift wrap. Do you have this set? Okay, you're done with card number 1. Sharon, are you all set? Okay, so we're going to go on to card number 2. Now I made, let me grab that. For those of you who watched last week, you'll remember I made this card. It's called the Dutch Door Fold. And you guys said you really liked the design of it, and it's really easy to make. So that's why I picked this for Stamp With Me night, to show you how to make it. Now, this one goes up and down, is vertical, but tonight I'm doing mine sideways. You can do it any way you want, and I will show you that card. And this is the card. So again, it's the same as the other one, but I just turned it to the side. What do you think? First of all, I love this color. Blackberry Bliss is like one of my favorite colors. You don't have what set, Jody? The wrapped in, the gift wrapped? I was telling them at the beginning of the class that it was something that I looked at and hemmed and hawed on, and then didn't get it in my first order. Then I started seeing some stuff made with it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to get it. And I am having so much fun with it. I'm going to use it a lot, I think, through the holidays. So, but this is the card we're going to make for those of you who want to make it. But I'm doing mine sideways. You can do yours either way that you want. Okay. So let me get the stuff and we'll get started. Okay, so the card base, I'm just showing you how I made mine here in the pieces. So the card base is 4 3/16 by 9. And you're going to score it at 5.5. And I did this all out of one sheet of paper because you can actually just cut your 2 by 8.5 off the end of that paper and then use the other piece to make your base. So the strip is 2 by 8.5, and the card base is 4 3/16 by 9, and you're going to score it at 5.5. So go ahead and do that. Jody, wait till you see some of the stuff I'm making with it, and I'm going to be using it for my 12 Weeks of Christmas series. So, do that. Get my card over here so you can see it. So, the 2 and 8.5 has to be scored at 2 and 8 on each end. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys may have already done yours. So you're just going to score it at 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 on each end. And that is going to be, and then you're just going to fold it up, burnish, okay, and that's how you get this to go in there. That's how simple this fold is. Thank you, Jody. This is Color Street Nails. And I don't know if you are familiar with them, but I just got into it a few weeks ago, and I'm loving it since I can't go and get my nails done, or we haven't been able to do that, so. Okay, so is everybody that's stamping have your base done? Have it cut? And then all I did is, just to be different this time, is I just turned it on its side. Okay? What you're going to do is you're going to put glue down here, and then we're going to stick this in there seam to seam. Okay? So go ahead and do that if you haven't already done it. And then you literally just stick this in right in between. And why I like, again, using the glue, it's very forgiving. And then look at that. Now your base is complete. Isn't it? I love this fold. I love this, and I love fancy fold. I love doing different card folds, and I agree it would be really nice for the holidays, which is kind of another reason why I wanted to get this out and show you guys how to do it for those who have never made it before. It's very simple. Sometimes you look at these and you think, wow, that's really hard, but it's not. Okay, so the next step is you're going to put your layer on your next layer, which is your DSP. Okay, so I used the pack, again, the 6x6 pack, and I believe it was the Regals. This is in the Regals pack. I'm telling you, you guys, those 6x6 packs of paper with all the colors, families are the bomb. They are just like the best thing when you're trying to figure out what you want to use for paper, if you don't get all the other papers. So on this one, I used the dot. So I think I'm going to use the opposite side on this one. So go ahead and put your layer down. And another thing you can do, like I did on this card, is you can actually emboss it to even give it more texture if you want. So there's lots of options with this card base. So go ahead and stick your DSP down. And for those of you who are stamping, please make sure you go on my group page, the World of Kelly Craft group page, and post your cards after I post this video so I can see what you guys made. I would love to see that. And then you're going to go ahead and put your other two pieces of DSP on your flaps. Go ahead and put those down for those who are stamping. And again, it just gives it a whole different look, and all I'm doing is using the other side of the DSP. What do you think of that? I think it's pretty. Now, the next piece is to go ahead and put your other layer on, your Whisper White or your Very Vanilla, whatever you're using. I, on this one, changed it up, and I'm just using layering circles and ovals, which I use a lot. So I just use the layering circles and ovals. I did one regular and one scallop, and I'm going to stamp on that. So go ahead and get your piece out that you're going to be stamping on, and go ahead and stamp your image. And if you need to color it, you go ahead and color it as well. Now mine is going to be a tight fit because I'm on an oval, but that's okay. I'm going to get my Memento. Now this set, forgot to tell you, is Country Home, and this carried over from last year. And I have to tell you, I did a class, in-home class with this. Everybody loved the cards. I've used this quite a bit, and then sometimes you just put things away and you don't take them out. So I wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to use it. So with fall not that far away, and this can be a nice fall set, I thought I would use that tonight. So go ahead and stamp your image. Get my mat. The size of the Whisper White, Lisa, is 3 by 3 3/4. Is that what you're asking? So if you were going to do this piece here, is 3 by 3 3/4. And the smaller ones are 1.5 by 1 3/4, Nancy. Okay, and you can use Whisper White, Very Vanilla. So let me give you the dimensions for all of those. So the DSP is 4 by 3 1/4. This piece here, 4 by 3 1/4. And then these two are 2 by 1 3/4. 2 by 1 3/4. And then your top pieces, Whisper White, Very Vanilla, or whatever you're going to use, if you're using the straight paper, is 3 by 3 3/4. And then these squares that go on top are 1.5 by 1 3/4. And you can make them anything you want. I wanted the paper to peek out. You can make them bigger if you wanted to. So do you have those measurements now, Nancy? You could easily post, mount photos on this. Absolutely easy to do it. You could also do something with the inside, which I'm going to show you after. So that's another one. That's another way that you could do it. Okay? Okay, so let me get and I'm going to try to stamp this. Right at the top, get as much of it as I can. Yeah, this stamp set was one of my favorites last year. And while I have the ink pad out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp on my little pieces. And I'm using just this little, I'm not even sure what you call that design, but it looks almost like a little window with the design in it. And I'm just gonna, you know what? Either I get a pad that's really juicy or one that isn't juicy enough. Let me try this one. Oh, that one's too juicy. See what I mean? Let me wash that. All right, we'll try that. And just kind of go right in the middle. And again, you can put anything on here. You can do die. You could do die cuts of some sort, embellishments. Okay. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking my Awesome Blend. So if you have whatever you stamped on your paper, if you want to go ahead and color it, go ahead and color it. I'm using my Stampin' Blends, which are my favorite tool for coloring. And I'm using the light Old Olive. I think this card design would make beautiful Christmas cards. So I may have to incorporate that between now and then. And this does not take long to color at all. And I'm using the rich raspberry to match the paper. And you know, this is what I love about Stampin' Up! Is all, you know, the inks, the paper, the markers, the ribbons, everything coordinates. So if I'm using rich raspberry paper and I use the inks, they're all going to match. And that was one of the things that stood out for me way back when I started using Stampin' Up! Was the coordination. It just takes a lot of the effort out. Okay, so there's that. Oops, forgot a couple of my leaves here. And it doesn't take long to color with these either. Okay, and then I used the light Mango Melody just to go on to these little, whatever these flowers are called. Jody, you would love it. And really, that's all you had to do. Now, another trick . Well, I was looking for, let me see, another idea for these little cotton pieces. When I did my in-house class, we actually glued, we used Q-tips and we actually glued the cotton onto these cotton balls, and they were like 3D. It looked so cool to do that. But another option is you could use your white chalk marker and you can actually color it in. I was going to grab mine, but it's not over there. So just use like a little white chalk marker, and that really just kind of embellishes it a little bit. And then if whatever you're doing on your little white squares, if whatever you're coloring, if you want to go ahead and color it in. I just did a little bit of color here to add a little bit of color. I didn't color the whole thing in, just the corners. So Lisa and Sharon, how are you guys doing? There we go. And then the last thing I did, oops, stick into my glue, is for I did the watering can, and I actually stamped that on silver foil. Okay, great, Sharon. So when you are stamping, so if you guys see this is on silver foil. Can you guys see that in the camera? I just thought it really made it look cool. Okay, but when you stamp on foil or something like that, you need to use StazOn, which is a solvent ink. It's a more permanent ink, and you want it, you need to use that. So I'm going to stamp my watering can. On the silver foil, and that just really makes it pop. Now, we don't have a die or a punch for it. Whoop. Oh, that didn't come out all that great. Let me get another piece. And remember, you can't use the same. You got to use your StazOn remover for that. All right, let's try this again. So I'm going to cut me a little piece. And we're going to try it again. And you're just going to leave it there a second on foil to let the ink work in. You doing good, Lisa? There we go. And then you use StazOn cleaner. It's a different kind of ink. And it works great. Any questions so far? And then what I had to do is fussy cut this out, and it's very easy. And again, when you're anybody who's doing fussy cutting, it's good to keep a little bit. Oh, actually, there's a trick I want to show you on this one. I'm going to cut the handle off. Keep cut it with a little bit of space and just move your paper, not your scissors. Jody, are you still here? And then I'm just going to cut that handle. It's very tiny. There you go. And then what you're going to do is this on, glue that on. And then you actually just glue the handle back on. That's just a trick with this can. Jody, I got that trick from Kelly. A long time ago, I saw her use this set, just so you know. And she got it from somebody else. I can't remember who taught her how to do that by cutting this handle off. Yeah, the foil does add a lot to it, I think. It just really pops it, and it makes it just so easy when you cut this handle off and then just glue it right back on. You'd never know it. There you go. Hey, what do you think? Isn't it pretty? And then, there it is. I glued that on my layer. So go ahead and make sure your layers are all glued on if you've finished coloring. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh. Alright. Oh, hang on. I just pulled part of my handle off because of the glue on my mat here. That. Put some more glue on it. There we go. There's anything that can't be fixed. Alright, and then layer it on there, and then I'm popping it up on dimensionals. Of course. Do you like it, Nancy? I love the colors. Make a really nice, I think, for fall too. And let me bring my, and then you just kind of center that. But again, if you're scrapbooking, you could do pictures. So just kind of center that. So put your center on, or your middle piece. And then I just glued down the squares. I like the other side of the DSP. I think it's pretty. And again, you open it up. And I'm going to go ahead and put my white, but I'm going to stamp on it first. Now on this one, I did Simply Thankful for All the Good Things. And that is also part of this set. But you could do So Grateful for someone, you know, to have someone like you in your life. And I'm going to use my Memento. You can use coordinating ink if you wanted to. If you wanted to use the same as the cardstock. Oops. Get my mat back. Make sure I get a good... And again, this orientation of this can go either way. I like both. I just like to change it up a little bit. And then go ahead and put your middle in. And there's your card. We, honestly, Nancy, I think we have the best papers. I've ordered papers from everywhere, all over United States and abroad, and I've bought it from all the local stores, and I've been doing this for years and years and years. We really do have the best paper. Our cardstock is just perfect, and our designer papers are gorgeous, and the way that they create them to match our cardstock is really nice. It's really nice. So what do you think of this one? Do you like that? And then here's this one from last week. I did one with playing cards also. I didn't do it as 3D. No, this one's 3D. You see how do you see the 3D? Can you see on that? So to make it 3D effect, I stamped this 3 times, and stamped it once on the paper, and then cut it, and then 2 more times, and then layered it and put dimensionals under, and that propped it up, and that made it look that makes it look 3D. See? Can you see on that on the camera? I just think it's really pretty. So there's that, and there's this one. What do you think? Sharon and Lisa, thank you for stamping with me, and I hope that you will post your cards once I get this posted over on the group, my business group page, which is World of Kelly Craft here on Facebook. For others, if you're not on that Facebook page, please ask to join it. That's where we share cards and challenges and different things that we do over there. So my customers and friends can interact. We do that over on that page. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the class. Do you like them? I can't wait to see your cards. Yeah, it is a cool technique, and I love this card fold, and I think you'll be seeing, some more of it. So thank you, everyone, for joining, and I hope I can see your cards soon, and I appreciate you taking the time this evening to stamp with me, for those of you who did. I try to do that to get people stamping, and we'll do it again sometime. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate you so much. Please give some loves, hearts, thanks, and thumbs up, and please share the video. It really helps me in my small business. Thank you so much.